And we begin first up with the top global story that we are tracking. This is the ceasefire deal that's been struck between the Israeli forces and the Hezbollah group, which means that there is going to be a secession from both the sides when it comes to those strikes and counter strikes in Lebanon, particularly in southern Beirut. Now, while US and France have been able to manage to broker a deal between the Israeli forces and the Hezbollah group, which is the terror proxy of the Iranian forces, it's Donald Trump who has taken credit for Israel-Hezbollah ceasefire deal. Let's go across to Deepak, who has more details. Deepak, while Trump's team has taken credit for this ceasefire deal that's been struck, but once again, if you can run us through those deal agreements between the Israeli forces and the Hezbollah group.
Well, Samiksha, now there is some good news from West Asia, because now Biden administration claims to have brokered peace between Israel and Hezbollah. But moments after Biden's announcement, we saw how there were multiple blasts that were reported in the Lebanese capital as well. So we'll have to wait and watch whether the ceasefire is actually a ceasefire, or is this just to show the world that, you know, Biden administration is working round the clock to ensure there is peace. But amidst all of this, there is another claimant who has entered the fray, and that is the Donald Trump team, which has now claimed credit for restoring peace in Middle East. He says, his team has jumped into the fray, claiming that it was Donald Trump's, resolve that has ensured that the Biden administration, before it exits the office, brokers a peace between Israel and Hezbollah. Remember, Samiksha, after Donald Trump secured the historic mandate in the United States elections, his first move and the first announcement was that he will ensure there is peace in the Middle East. Now, Biden's administration is outgoing, and to ensure that he leaves a lasting mark on his administration, he wanted to get to the finish line before Donald Trump. So this is clearly an open credit war that has broken out between President Joe Biden as well as President-elect Donald Trump. Let me take you through the reactions that have come in from Team Trump, because Florida Representative Mike Waltz has said that everyone is coming to the table because of President Donald Trump. And he further goes on to say that his resounding victory sent a clear message to the rest of the world that chaos won't be tolerated. I'm glad to see concrete steps towards de-escalation in the Middle East, but it was the Donald Trump team that set the ball rolling, is what his team claims. Yes,
Deepak, I will just come back to you again, but let's once again listen into that soundbite of President Biden, who's spoken about the ceasefire deal that's been struck between both the sides.
Today, I have some good news to report from the Middle East. I just spoke with the Prime Minister of Israel and Lebanon. I'm pleased to announce that their governments have accepted the United States proposal to end the devastating conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. And I want to thank President Macron of France for his partnership in reaching this moment. For nearly 14 months, a deadly conflict raged across the border that separates Israel and Lebanon. A conflict that began the day after the October 7 attack by Hamas on Israel. Hours later, at 2 a.m. in the morning, Hezbollah and other terrorist organizations backed by Iran attacked Israel in support of Hamas. Let's be clear, Israel did not launch this war. The Lebanese people did not seek that war either, nor did the United States.
Let's go across to Deepak again. Deepak, while this deal could significantly change the dynamics in Middle East, but talk to us about these airstrikes that were carried out moments after the ceasefire deal was struck. Does it all look like a farce between the Israeli forces and the Hezbollah group?
Well, that's what it looks like, Samiksha, because just moments after Biden administration announced that there is a ceasefire, we see that a Lebanese capital has been pounded by Israeli airstrikes, and people are now questioning whether this ceasefire is actually going to end the 14-month-long war between Israel and Hezbollah or not, because Israel continues to escalate on the other side. Let me tell you what exactly happened. Israel's warplane struck central Beirut and the city's southern suburbs, raising piles of smoke over the Lebanese capital ahead of the planned vote by Israel's leadership on whether to accept US brokered ceasefire or not. So before accepting the vote and before Biden administration announced it, there were plans ready to strike the Lebanese capital.
Yes.
And after Biden's announcement, the airstrikes were carried out as planned. But Israeli military also issued warnings for about 20 more buildings in Beirut suburbs to evacuate before they too were struck. So we'll have to wait and watch how and what the terms and conditions are of the ceasefire deal that has been signed between the two sides.